Okay, this is going to be changing the old bag to the new bag. Certain things you have to watch out for. Number one, make sure there's no air in the old bag. It's going to get awful noisy if you don't get the air out of there. I've got a Schrader valve up here. I can let the air out. If you don't have a Schrader valve, you're going to have to go inside, turn the key on, and flip the switch to lower the side that the bag is on to get all the air out. I don't know any other way to do it, except I like a Schrader valve. Worst comes to worst, you can always stop at a gas station and air the bag out. Last year I drove from Albany, Oregon to Durant, Oklahoma with these old leaky airbags, and I had to air them up about every 6 hours. And that was after I dumped a bottle of green slime in each bag and rolled it around trying to seal up the little leaks. Sounds much better. No air in there to speak of now. There'll be a little puff here, but nothing at all like it would be otherwise. Now we take off this Christmas tree I got on here. I don't like the air going in on the same thing that holds the airbag together because it gets in your way. You can't take the airbag off with air in it. This T we want to save. I'm going to use this T on the new airbag system, but we'll be moving some stuff around. Those two pieces will keep. Every piece has to come apart one by one. If you leave this nipple in the 45, it won't make a full turn coming out. So everything has to come apart piece by piece, which is another reason I don't like this system. I just may have to break down and go get the real wrench here. There we go. I'm not going to use this particular piece again, so if I mark it up, I'm not worried about it too much. If I can just get a turn on it, I can take it off my fingers from there. Like from right there. Okay. Yeah, this piece we never want to see again. Now we use an 1 1/8" wrench. Use the box end. Sometimes you'll have trouble getting it in here because of the dirt. You'll have to clean out from behind the nut. There we go. Now you don't want to take that nut off all the way yet because you might have to retighten it to break this one. If this one turns the airbag, we'll have to tighten up on the other end temporarily. Ah, good. It came loose without rotating the whole bag. Interesting, that's supposed to have a star washer back of it, but it didn't have one. I just hate it when a nut is loose for half a turn and tight for half a turn. But it seems like there's a whole lot of them that are that way. Which means it's wrench part way and fingers part way. And definitely slows the job down. Okay. And there's a star washer that's supposed to be on there. Not going to be using them anymore anyway, so it don't matter. Yeah, jack this thing up. We still got mud out here, and the jack is trying to bury itself in the mud. I don't know how far down it'll go, but I've already got it up enough to get the old bag out. That's all there is to getting rid of the old bag. We don't even want to see that one again. Okay. Now at this point, I want to put some thread sealant on this air nipple here. You know, when I was a kid, I used to laugh at my grandpa for shaking like a leaf when he was trying to work. And I thought to myself, I'll never shake like that. I might try real hard and not shake like that. Well, you know what? The harder you try, the worse you shake. Getting old ain't for sissies. Okay, here is the T, and you can see why I leave this loose. I was thinking about originally welding them up like a spool piece, welding on both sides, but then I figured I wouldn't be able to get the T on, so I changed my mind, and I'm using the all thread through the middle to hold it together. And as I was getting ready to assemble this, I realized that if this all thread comes loose from this plate, the airbag could fall out, and I wouldn't want that. So I went down and I bought me some thread locker, Permatex. I was looking for Loctite, but I got Permatex. That's good. That's a good brand name. And I got the red stuff that's good for locking it and never having to take it loose again, to make sure that this stays in here. I don't care if it comes loose here too much. It's going to be bit here with a nut on the outside. Ow. Talking about bit, that was my finger got bit there. You want to tighten this T until it's basically parallel with these two bolts here, so that the tubing won't be hitting the bolts and you can still have access to the other end down here. And you want to make sure you get plenty of thread sealant on there, because you don't want these things to leak. If they're working right, you should be able to air the airbags up, and they ought to stay up for just almost as long as the tires are staying up. You're not supposed to be leaking. One of the advantages of having a Schrader valve on here is if it's leaking down and you don't know if it's the bag or not, you can take this little Schrader valve here and you can take the air line off the other side of the T and screw in a 1/4 inch pipe plug, and then you can air it up here, and if it stays up, the bag is good. If it was going down before, it means there's a leak somewhere in there. Could be a fitting, it could be a hose, or it could be one of the solenoids is leaking through. And that can be a real pain, but at least this way you can figure out where the leak is occurring. Okay, now with that there, we can screw this all the way in until it comes up tight. And you see we're not getting in the way of the T. The T is in there. It's a nice short solid setup. This don't have all them weird 45s and nipples and shit coming out of there. So I see our jack is sinking deeper into the mud. It makes it a little hard to get the new bag in. And we can keep going till we hit water, I guess. Okay. And there's the new bag in position. I like to get this just about straight up so that this tubing here connects here. I may have to shorten this tubing a little bit because this is getting in the way over here. I have another option of rotating it a little. We'll kind of see. I need to get the nuts and washers over here. I'll be right back.